Machine learning engineers are earning over $200,000 annually, and there are more than 500,000 ML AI jobs open globally. But the path to becoming one in 2026 looks completely different than it even did 2 years ago. So if you're still following outdated roadmaps telling you to spend many months on math before touching any code, you're going to get left behind. Hi friends, I'm Maddie. I'm a senior software engineer who previously worked at Google and internet other big tech companies like Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft. I've worked with machine learning engineers throughout my career, and several of my close friends have made the transition from SWE to MLE. In this video, I'm giving you the exact roadmap to become an ML engineer as fast as possible in 2026. So not just theory or a list of courses, but instead the strategic path that accounts for how the industry has fundamentally shifted with GenAI and large language models. By the end, you'll know exactly where to start, what to skip, and how to actually stand out to hiring managers. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what's actually changed. In 2026, the line between machine learning engineer and AI engineer is blurring quite rapidly. Companies aren't just looking for people who can train models anymore, but they also want hybrid engineers who understand classic ML, can work with large language models, build RAG pipelines, and deploy everything using MLOps practices. According to recent job market data, AI/ML job postings have been rising 89% year over year. And the most in-demand candidates have 2 to 6 years of experience. Entry-level roles are rarer, which tell you that companies want people who can hit the ground running. There's also been a shift away from fully remote work in this field. Most ML engineering roles now require hybrid or in-office presence, so keep that in mind when job hunting. So what does this mean for you? It means the traditional path of spending years on prerequisites before ever touching real ML is dead. The fastest path now is learning by building, getting hands-on with modern tools early, and developing a T-shaped skill set where you go deep in one area while having breadth across the stack. Let's break this down into phases. Phase 1 is your foundation, and I want you to spend about 6 to 8 weeks here. This might be obvious, but start with Python. You need to be comfortable with data types, control flow, and functions. It's not just about learning syntax, but also about writing clean, modular code from the beginning. Bad habits are, of course, really hard to break later. Also, make sure you're getting comfortable with Git early. Version control isn't glamorous, but you're going to use it every day on the job. Alongside Python, learn the standard data manipulation stack. For example, NumPy for numerical operations, Pandas for working with tabular data, and basic visualization with Matplotlib. These aren't optional since you'll be using them constantly on the job. Also, SQL is important. As an ML engineer, you'll need to pull data from databases, and SQL is non-negotiable for that. And here's where I might differ a little bit from more traditional advice. Don't spend much time on just math. I watched a friend spend 4 months grinding through a linear algebra textbook before ever opening a Jupyter notebook. By the time she got to doing actual ML stuff, she'd forgotten half of it. The concepts stick when you have immediate context. The first time backpropagation actually made sense to me was when I was debugging why a neural network wasn't converging, not reading about it. So learn the math, absolutely, but also learn it alongside the algorithms that actually implement it. Phase 2 is core machine learning, and you should spend about 8 to 12 weeks here. Start by understanding the fundamental concepts, supervised versus unsupervised learning, the train-test split, overfitting versus underfitting, cross-validation, and evaluation metrics like precision, recall, and F1 score. These concepts apply everywhere, whether you're building a simple regression model or a complex deep learning system. Then get hands-on with scikit-learn. Build linear regression models, logistic regression, decision trees, random forests, and gradient boosting. Don't just run the code. You should be understanding why each algorithm works, when to use it, and what its limitations are. So I would say that feature engineering here is also very crucial and often overlooked. Learn how to handle missing data, encode categorical variables, normalize features, and create new features that actually improve model performance. As an ML engineer, you'll spend so much more time preparing data than actually training your models. So getting good at this separates average practitioners from excellent ones. Now, learning all of this can feel overwhelming, and having a high-quality course makes a huge difference. That's why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Coursera. With AI evolving this fast, you need AI courses that are very up-to-date. Coursera has some of the best options available right now. For example, their Google AI Essentials course is perfect if you're just starting out. It gives you practical hands-on experience with AI tools and helps you understand how to apply AI in real-world scenarios. It's taught by Google experts, so you're learning from people who actually build these systems at scale. For those ready to go deeper, in deeplearning.ai's generative AI with large language models, you'll learn how LLMs actually work under the hood, how to fine-tune them for specific use cases, and how to deploy them in production. So this isn't just surface level content. You're actually getting into the technical details that employers will actually test for in interviews. And if you want a comprehensive path, IBM's Generative AI Engineering Professional Certificate covers everything from prompt engineering to building and deploying GenAI applications. It's the kind of credential that actually means something on your resume because it proves you can build, not just talk about the concepts. Click the link in the description below to apply your discount of 40% off for 3 months of Coursera Plus. With AI skills being this in demand, structured learning is one of the best investments you can make right now. And speaking of deep learning and GenAI, let's move on to phase 3. Spend about 10 to 14 weeks here. Start with neural net fundamentals, so understand feed-forward networks, backpropagation, activation functions, and loss functions. Also, get comfortable with either PyTorch or TensorFlow. PyTorch tends to be more intuitive for learning and is dominant in research, while TensorFlow has stronger production deployment tools. It doesn't really matter, but just pick one, go deep, and learn the other one later. Then move on to architectures. So for example, CNNs for image data, RNNs, and LSTMs for sequential data. But the critical thing about 2026 is that you absolutely must understand transformers. The transformer architecture is the foundation of every major language model today. Concepts like self-attention, positional coding, encoder-decoder structures are table stakes. From there, dive into working with large language models. So for example, learn how to use the APIs from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. Understand prompt engineering not as a gimmick, but as a genuine engineering discipline. And learn about RAG, or retrieval augmented generation, which is how you ground LLMs in external knowledge to reduce hallucinations. This RAG pattern is everywhere in production systems right now. If you want to stand out even more, you can learn about fine-tuning with techniques like LoRa and QLoRa. These let you adapt pre-trained models for specific use cases without massive compute budgets. Companies love candidates who can do this because it's how you customize AI for business problems without spending a fortune on training models from scratch. Phase 4 is MLOps and deployment. This is often overlooked, but it's exactly where you can differentiate yourself. So spend about 6 to 8 weeks here. If you think about it, building a model in a Jupyter notebook is completely different from running one in production. Companies need engineers who can actually deploy models, monitor their performance, and update them over time. So for example, learn Docker for containerization, and learn to build APIs with FastAPI or Flask so other applications can actually use your models. Also get familiar with cloud platforms, for example, AWS, GCP, or Azure. You don't need to master all three. To be honest, I think most people just know AWS, but be comfortable deploying on at least one. Learn tools like MLflow for experiment tracking and model versioning, and understand CI/CD pipelines for ML so you can automate testing and deployment. Also, know how to monitor for model drift and set up alerts when performance degrades, because in production, things will go wrong. I would say that this phase is what separates ML engineers from data scientists. Data scientists build models and analyze results, but the ML engineers actually run those models into production and keep them running reliably at scale. If you can do both, you're incredibly valuable to any organization. So throughout all of this, you need to be building projects, not tutorial projects where you follow along step by step, but real projects where you identify a problem, figure out a solution, and build something end to end. For classic ML, you can build something like a pricing optimization model that predicts optimal price points based on product features. For deep learning, you can try building a document classifier that automatically routes support tickets or categorizes invoices. For GenAI, you can build a RAG-based application that answers questions from a knowledge base, or create an AI agent that completes multi-step tasks using tool calling. The key is picking projects that mirror what companies actually need, not just textbook exercises. So in conclusion, the fastest path to becoming an ML engineer in 2026 involves learning your foundations in Python and data tools, or ML with scikit-learn, deep learning and GenAI with transformers and LLMs, and ML ops to actually deploy and maintain your work. Make sure that you're building projects throughout and stay current because this field changes extremely fast. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, hype the video, and subscribe for more tech videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.